Good morning, students. Now we will start with our new chapter, solid state. In 11th standard, already we discussed the liquid and gaseous state. So, three common states of matter are solid, liquid and gas. This year in standard 12, we have the topic solid state. So, what are the general properties for solid states? See, solids has fixed composition. It has fixed mass, volume, shape. Solids are having definite density. Solids are denser than the liquid and gaseous state of the same substance. Most of the solids are hard, incompressible and rigid. Intermolecular forces of attraction between constituent particles in solid are stronger as compared to liquid and gaseous state. Pure solids have characteristic melting point which depends on extent of intermolecular forces present in the solid. The constituent particles of solids are held tightly by or strongly by intermolecular forces of attractions. Hence, the particles cannot change their position and remain stationary at one position. So, these are the general properties of solids. In brief, we can say that solids are having definite mass, they occupy definite volume. Solids are more dense as compared to liquid and gaseous state. Solids are non-compressible, therefore there is no effect of pressure on the solids. But when solids are dissolved in the medium, that is suppose in aqueous medium, then they will be compressible. The intermolecular forces of attraction between solid states are strong as compared to liquid and gaseous state. So these are the general properties of solid state. Now afterwards, what are the different types of solids? There are two types of solid. One is crystalline solid and second is amorphous solid. So two types of solids. First one is crystalline solid. So what is crystalline solid? It is a homogeneous solid in which constituent particles, what are constituent particles? Maybe atoms, ions or molecules are arranged in definite repeating pattern. So there is definite order arrangement of the constituent particles in crystalline solid. And because of this repeatedly or periodic arrangement of constituent particles, they are having definite shape. So in crystalline solid, there is long range order arrangement of the constituent particle and therefore they are having definite shape. Crystalline solids are also having sharp melting point and boiling point. Therefore, these solids are also called as the true solids. Generally, crystalline solids shows the property called as a anisotropy. So one word is there. What is anisotropy? It is the ability of crystalline solid to change the values of physical properties when measured in different direction. This property is called as a anisotropy. May I repeat, what is anisotropy? Ability of crystalline solid to change the values of physical properties. Which physical properties? Suppose conductivity is there, refractive index is there, density is there. All these physical properties, when values of these physical properties are measured in different direction, then these values are coming different. So this property is called as the anisotropy. So all crystalline solids shows the property anisotropy, but there is an exception for this. The crystalline solid which crystallizes in cubic shape or cubic structure, they do not show the property of anisotropy. So this is first distinguish or type of solid, that is crystalline solid, and second one is called as the amorphous solid. So what are amorphous solids? So amorphous solids are the substances that appear like to be solid but they do not have well developed perfectly ordered crystalline structure. So there is no long range arrangement of the constituent particles in amorphous solid. There is a irregularity in the arrangement of the constituent particles. Therefore, in amorphous solids are also called as a not true solid but they are called as a pseudo solid. What is the meaning of pseudo? These solids appears like a solid but actually they are supercooled liquid. They do not have orderly arrangement or there is a short range arrangement of the constituent particle. Therefore, they do not have the sharp melting point and boiling point. Good morning, student. So, may I repeat again, what are crystalline and amorphous solid? These are the two types of the solids. One is crystalline and amorphous. Once again I will revise. Crystalline solid, there is a regularity and periodicity in the arrangement of constituent particle. Crystalline solids have sharp melting point. All crystalline solid except those having cubic structure are anisotropic. What are anisotropic? It is the property of crystalline solid to have the physical properties values different at different directions, or ability of crystalline solid to change the values of physical properties when measured at different directions. This property is called as the anisotropy. So all crystalline solid except those having cubic structures are anisotropic. The particles in crystalline solids have long range order structure. Therefore, they are called as the true solids. Example of crystalline solids are ice, NaCl, that is sodium chloride, metals like Cu, copper, Au means gold, Na, sodium, materials like diamond, graphite, fullerene. These are the examples of the crystalline solid. The second one is amorphous solid. So may I repeat again, what are amorphous solids? The substances that appears like a solid but do not have perfectly ordered crystalline structure are called as the amorphous solids. So in amorphous solids, the constituent particles are not arranged perfectly. So constituent particles in amorphous solids are randomly arranged. The particles have short range order structure. They do not have sharp melting point. So amorphous solid melts over a range of temperature. They do not have sharp melting point. These solids are isotropic. What is the meaning of isotropic? The physical properties like refractive index, then conductivity, they are independent on the directions. So these values are not changed by changing the direction. This property is called as the isotropic. So amorphous solids are isotropic. Amorphous solids are also called as the pseudo-solids or supercooled liquid. What is the meaning of pseudo-solid? They appear to be in solid state, but actually they are supercooled liquids. And examples of amorphous solid that which observe day-to-day life: tar, in Marathi it is called as a dambar, glass, plastic and rubber. These are the examples of amorphous solids. Now generally what should be the question based on these two types? See, the distinguishing is there. Generally question will be distinguish between crystalline solid and amorphous solid. So how to distinguish between crystalline solid and amorphous solid? See the distinguished part. Crystalline solid have definite characteristic shape due to orderly, regular, long-range arrangement of constituent particles, while amorphous solids have irregular shape due to orderly, short-range arrangement of constituent particle. Crystalline solids are true solids. Amorphous solids are called as the pseudo-solids or supercooled liquids. Crystalline solid may or may not be isotropic, or they are generally anisotropic, while amorphous solids are isotropic like liquids. For crystalline solid, heat of fusion is definite, while for amorphous solid, heat of fusion is not definite. Crystalline solids have sharp melting point. Amorphous solids, they do not have sharp melting point. And once again, distinguishing is there, but it will not consider as a distinguished part. So only for understanding oxalic acid, salt, then metals like gold, sodium, these are the example of crystalline solid. While quartz is the glass. SiO2, silica is one more allotrope for that. Silica is quartz, alpha quartz, beta quartz. These are the example for amorphous solid. Rubber is there, tar is there. So this distinguishing is generally the question from solid state. The distinguish between crystalline solid and amorphous solid. This question is for 2 marks. After these types of solid, if you observe the amorphous solid, how there is an irregularity in arrangement. See, one PPT is given over here. So in crystalline solids, if you observe quartz and all this, see the regularity in the arrangement of constituent particle. But in non-crystalline Glass is also in quartz glass. See, there is an irregularity in the arrangement of the constituent particle. So one is crystalline and second one is non-crystalline, that is called the amorphous. These are the examples for the crystalline and amorphous solids. So after these two types of solids, when crystalline solid crystallizes, so depending on their similarity and dissimilarity, there are two types of crystalline solids in which they are able to crystallize. One form is called as a isomorphism and second form is called as a polymorphism. So what is isomorphism? See on the board. Isomorphism means when two or more substances having same crystal structure, then that property is called as a isomorphism. May I repeat, what is isomorphism? Two or more substances having same crystal structure. This property is called as a isomorphism. Example, NaF, sodium fluoride and magnesium oxide. They are having same atomic ratio. NaF is 1:1 and MgO is also 1:1. So these two pairs are called as a isomorph pairs and the property is called as a isomorphism. One more example is given. NaNO3. What is Na? Sodium. NO3 is nitrate. Sodium nitrate and CaCO3, calcium carbonate. May I repeat? Sodium nitrate and calcium carbonate. Formulas are NaNO3 and CaCO3. The atomic ratios are found to be 1:1:3. In both the cases, in both the molecule, atomic ratio is same. Therefore, these two substances are having same crystal structure. So, these two pairs are called as the isomorphs of each other and property is called as the isomorphism. Second is polymorphism. Poly means many, morphism means structure. What is poly? May I repeat? Poly means many, morphism means structure. If single substance exists in two or more crystalline structure, then that substance is called as a polymorph and phenomenon is called as a polymorphism. So polymorphism means when single substance exists in two or more crystalline structure, then that pairs are called, that substance is called as a polymorph and concept is polymorphism. For example, there are three polymorphic forms of carbon, that is diamond is there, graphite is there, fullerene is there. The basic single substance is same. Which one is the substance? That is element is carbon, but that elemental carbon, it exists in more crystalline forms. Which crystalline forms? One is the diamond form, second is the graphite and third one is the fullerene. Now in graphite is having different structure, then diamond is having different structure and fullerene is also having different structure. Now we will see the structures of diamond, graphite and fullerene, how they are polymorphs of each other. Now see the structure of diamond. Diamond structure is given. It has three-dimensional structure. See the three-dimensional structure for diamond. Hybridization in diamond is sp3 hybridization. Diamond is the hardest element or hardest polymorph of carbon, while the second one is fullerene. See the structure, second one is graphite. Graphite is having two-dimensional sheet-like structure and the sheets may be considered as a fused system of planar hexagonal ring. So in graphite, the carbons are linked in hexagonal ring and this is little bit slippery structure. Therefore, graphite is a soft and it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Our pencil, graphite pencils which we use, that is also contains a graphite and it is a soft material. It is good conductor of heat and electricity. Hybridization present in graphite is sp2 hybridization. Third polymorph of carbon is fullerene. See the structure of fullerene. A newly discovered allotrope of carbon is fullerene. Fullerene is formed by heating the graphite in an electric arc in presence of inert gases such as helium and argon. It is structure like buckyball, that is some carbons are present in pentagonal, linked by pentagonal form, and some are linked by hexagonal. So pentagon and hexagon, if we connect each other, we are getting the buckyball structure or saucer structure, or simply we will say football like a structure for the fullerene. So this is the example for polymorphs. Carbon is the single substance and it exists in three different forms, that is fullerene, diamond and graphite. Now we will continue with the types of solids. There are different types of crystalline solids are there. Some solids are ionic solids, some are molecular solids, then metallic solids and covalently bonded network solid. So 4 types of crystalline solid. May I repeat? Ionic solid, metallic solid, then covalently bonded network solids, and last one is the molecular solid. Now generally question will be write note on the suppose ionic solid or metallic solid. So first we will discuss types of solid: crystalline solid, ionic solid. So what are ionic solids? The solids are these solids. Ionic solids are formed by molecules containing positively charged smaller size cation and negatively charged bigger size anion, or simply we can say that ionic solids are formed by the cations and anions. Already we know that cations are positively charged particles and anions are negatively charged particles, and size of cation is always small as compared to the size of anion. So solids, these solids are formed by the molecules containing positively charged smaller size cation and negatively charged bigger size anion. The constituent particles of ionic crystals are charged ions. The ionic solids are formed by electrostatic force of attraction between ions of opposite charges and the forces of repulsion between the same charges. Now we already know that between the opposite charges there is a force of attraction. When opposite charges comes together, then they will form, that is cation and anion. When they approaches towards each other, because of electrostatic force of attraction, the ionic solids are formed. So ionic solids are formed by electrostatic force of attraction between ions of opposite charges or force of repulsion between the ions of same charges. Ionic crystals are hard and brittle. These crystals are having high melting point. They are non-conductor of electricity, because when charges gets combined together or when these two charges approaches towards each other, then the neutrality will be there and they are bad conductor, or we can say poor conductors of the electricity. So these are the points related to ionic solid. Generally note will be there. Write note on ionic solid, or in example in MCQ identify the ionic solid. So second type for crystalline solid is metallic solid. So what are metallic solids? The metallic solids are the crystalline solids formed by the atoms of same metallic element. So if you consider any metal, so atoms of the same element, then they will form the metallic solids. So may I repeat, metallic solids are the crystalline solids formed by the atoms of same metallic element. The bonding electrons are delocalized over the space of the crystal and have freedom to move from one end to another end, because metals are having large number of unpaired electrons. These some electrons are bonding electrons, some are non-bonding electrons. These electrons are delocalized over the space of the crystal, and these electrons are mobile. They are able to move from one end to another. Metallic solids are good conductors of heat and electricity. Metallic bonds are hard and stronger than the ionic and covalent bond. So in metallic solid, when force of attraction between metallic solid is because of the metallic bond, and these metallic bonds are hard, and as compared to ionic and covalent bonds, these bonds are stronger. On application of shear force of the layer, they slide on one another, hence the structure is not fractured. So there is very least possibility of fracturing of the metallic solid. Metals are ductile, malleable, have a luster. So similarly, metallic solids are ductile, malleable, and they have luster. For example, metallic solids of gold, and copper, or Au. Gold is also, Au is gold, Cu is the copper. And if you observe the diagram, the cations are surrounded by a sea of mobile electron. So that is called as the kernels of the electron. So in that kernels or sea of electron, there is a mobile electrons are present around the cation. Now the next types of crystalline solid are molecular solids. So what are molecular solids? The constituent particles of molecular solids are molecules of the same compound. May I repeat? In molecular solids, the constituent particles are the molecules of the same compound. The bond within the molecule is covalent. So molecular solids are bonded by a covalent bond. What is a covalent bond? The bond which is formed by the sharing of electrons. So the bond within the molecules in molecular solids are covalent. The molecules are held together by various intermolecular forces of attraction. Three types of intermolecular forces of attractions are there? In 11th standard, already we discussed this concept. First one is weak dipole-dipole interaction. So molecular solids having weak dipole-dipole interaction, it is observed in polar molecules like HCl, H2, SO2, they possess the permanent dipole moment. So in molecular solids in which there is a weak dipole-dipole interaction is there, these molecules are generally polar molecules, and these polar molecules generally exist the permanent dipole moment. The intermolecular forces of attraction are also weak dispersion forces or London forces. These weak dispersion forces or London forces are in non-polar molecules such as solid CH4, that is methane, and H2 molecule. Intermolecular hydrogen bonds are also there. So example is in NH3, in HF, there is a hydrogen bonding. What is hydrogen bond? The force of attraction, intermolecular forces of attraction between positively charged hydrogen and negatively charged ions of either oxygen, any electronegative atom. That force of attraction is called as a hydrogen bonding. So in molecular solid, there are some compounds like molecules like NH3 and HF which contains intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Because of such intermolecular forces of attraction, either weak dipole-dipole interaction or weak dispersion forces or London forces, or because of the intermolecular hydrogen bond, the molecular solids are soft and therefore they are having low melting point. So molecular solids are soft, because of that they are having low melting point. These molecular solids are poor electrical conductors, that is they are bad conductors or poor conductors of heat and electricity. That is the next type of the crystalline solid. Just now we discussed the three crystalline solid. First one is the ionic solid, second one metallic solid, third one is the molecular solid. Next one, whatever we discussed, that is the next one is covalently networked solids. So we will see what are covalently networked solids. So that is, and note is generally asked on this concept. Write note on molecular solids, ionic solids or metallic solids. Now fourth type is covalent network crystals or covalent network solids. So what are covalent network solids? In covalent network solid, the constituent particles in covalent network solids are atoms. These atoms, the atoms in this crystal contains the covalent bond. The covalent network solids are very hard. They are the hardest and incompressible of all the molecules. These crystals have high melting point and boiling point. These solids are also poor conductors of heat and electricity. For example, covalent network solids, allotropes of carbon. Carbon is having allotrope, diamond. Out of these three allotropes, diamond is having the covalent network crystal. It is the hardest material or it is the hardest allotrope of the carbon. Second one is quartz. Quartz is, that is silica, SiO2. The allotrope of silica, one is the quartz. It is also having covalent network crystals or covalent network solid. So these are the general characteristics or properties of the covalent network solid. So just now these 4 types we discussed. Types of crystalline solid. May I repeat? Ionic solid, metallic solid, covalent network crystals and molecular solid. So this is the next part of the solid stage.